Hello everyone! Welcome back to this game. When we last left off, Princess Erika has gone to hell. Literally. Apparently, not only did she try to kill Darius, but she is also responsible for Jackie going overboard. Apparently, Jackie was not actually quickly written out of the story. Rather, Jackie's death was foreshadowing that Princess Erika might not be trustworthy. So, my mistake. It was not a rush job to write her out of the story. Anyway, with that out of the way, we are now separated from the rest of our crew due to a disagreement. Darius and Mila, and by extension myself, have decided to go out and look for Darius's old crew in this new reality. Which, by the way, now that we've established that there are multiple realities, I'm not entirely sure how that crown works. Did it actually create a new reality? Or were we, transported from one reality to another when somebody wore the crown? What happened to the person that wore the crown? What happened to us in the old reality? I don't know. Maybe there's some sort of explanation in some other story branch, but... well, let's just focus on the here and now. We need to recover Darius's old crew. Now, I backed up a little bit because I wanted to get the establishing dialogue for what we're about to be doing as we head into a place called San Portia. Portia... place. Earlier, you informed that librarian you frequented San Portia before. Care to elaborate, Mila? Back when I was a merchant, it was a common stop. I bought my coin necklace from a shop here. You bought it from a shop? Just like that? Why would anyone with such a valuable item agree to sell it? I didn't understand what it was either. I just thought it was pretty. Or you felt the pull of destiny. Either way, I guess it's only fitting that we're starting this journey back where it began. Maddie says Portia was right. Alright. Such a large city. I don't know where to begin looking for Morgana. That is, if that's even who we should be looking for. What do you mean? You and I certainly changed thanks to our dealings with the coin. If Morgana has been here a while, perhaps she came into contact with it before you acquired it. She could be unrecognizable right now. Let's hope that's not the case, since she's probably not going to recognize us either. How are we ever going to find her? Well, that answers that. I had a feeling that she'd be appearing right in this empty space that was right here. Excuse me, did you say find her? Are you looking for someone? In a manner of speaking, are you Morgana? Yes, that's me. How did you know my name? What else aren't you telling me? There's quite a lot to tell, actually. Mysterious forces have been at work, causing us to misremember the true past and forget our friends, like you. I understand that this may stretch the bounds of belief. Indeed, I myself was quite skeptical upon first hearing. I believe you. You do? Of course! It explains everything! We haven't even finished telling our story. How could it possibly... Trust me, once you've heard my story, you'll know what I mean. Unless you already know everything about me. I do not. Are you sure? You knew my name, you knew where to find me. Are you sure you don't already know what I'm doing out here? Where I'm headed? When my birthday is? Why would we know that? Hey, I don't know the rules. You're the one with the power, not me. Why don't we just start from the beginning? Maddie says, oh wow, that's a bit of a change. Yeah, but I kinda like the look. I get the feeling that she's a waitress in this reality. Sure, but it's not safe to talk here. You never know who might be listening. Well, it won't be Rourke. So, you don't remember the ship, do you? No. Should I? Is this where they erased my memory? Whoever they are? No, it wasn't here. And you don't have to look too far to find them. I was one of the people involved. You... What? How could you? My memories are priceless. I know, right? Speaking of that, how much did they pay you? Whatever it was, I deserve at least half. No, it wasn't like that at all. It's hard to explain. Well, better try hard then. First you say that I'm your forgotten friend, then you tell me you had a hand in erasing my memory. What kind of friend does that? I was in prison, heading for the hangman's noose. The only chance we had to escape was to change the past. We took our chance, and it had repercussions far beyond our little cell. I understand. I was born inside a jail myself. There were days when I'd have done anything to get out. What happened after you did get out? I decided I never wanted to be on the wrong side of the law again. At first, I wanted to join the police force. But those short-sighted idiots couldn't look past my past. So I decided to become a private eye. Well, private detective, really. It would be a bit odd if I were a literal private eye. With the power of the coins, you never know. I see. So that's what the notepad is for, then. When you mentioned the mysterious forces, I knew it had to be connected. I'm investigating a missing persons case. The wife of a noble aristocrat had just vanished. Perhaps the mysterious forces took her and erased the memories of all the witnesses. Maybe. I can't say for sure. Perhaps, as a show of camaraderie, we could help you solve the case. The great Detective Morgana needs no help. Now that you've given me your clue, I'm sure the case will be wrapped up any minute. I just had a thought. Morgana says she was born in a jail, but I don't think she meant literally born in jail. I think that is where she found herself after she lost her memories. I kind of wonder if perhaps, like, our Morgana was sent here after wearing the crown, and therefore not really replaced with Princess Morgana in our first playthrough. I mean, with all the different realities that this game has suggested exist, it's entirely possible that every decision branch in this game is an alternate reality, including our decisions from the first playthrough. So, erasing our memories is definitely a bit harsh. Therefore, I still hate the crown. Though who knows, maybe we can still get our memories back? So far we're 0 for 2 on that, but you never know. Anyway, now that you've given me your clue, I'm sure the case will be wrapped up any minute. But you don't mind if we tag along while you investigate, right? You mean you want to see my sleuthing in action? Go right ahead. Now there's a familiar face. Kinda think of it. Let's see here. Prina, that's what her name is. Prina was involved in some time travel shenanigans caused by the coins in the first playthrough, lost her husband. I wonder if this is related to that. So, see anything unusual last night? I saw the wreckage of a ship. It was near some rocky embankments, pretty far from the coastline. Aha! They must have been attacked. Attacked? The attacker waited until their target was near the rocks so that anybody who came across the wreckage would assume it was an accident. Oh, it was the perfect crime. Since the shipwreck sinks quickly, I doubt any attacker would plan their assault specifically to deceive a passerby. Then why'd they attack there? Who says there was an attack at all? If I had to guess, I'd say it was simply an inexperienced crew who accidentally smashed themselves against crags. I wonder if they're talking about the Cursed Coast. Also, in one timeline, we do know that Prina's ship did get shipwrecked, but that was what caused Prina to use a coin to go time traveling and try to save it. You know, I had no idea that this game would involve so much time travel and alternate realities. It's no wonder that one person the other day was so confused. When you join in the middle of this, you have no idea what's going on. If you don't know about the rocks, you don't know you're supposed to steer around them, and they can sneak up on you. Hey, you stick to what you know, and I'll stick to being a detective. As the captain of a ship, I'd say this matter fails within my area of expertise. And somebody has failed to use the correct word. You gotta love these indie games. And there's a merchant I want to talk to. Hopefully they'll have more. I like you. I don't know who you are. I know your name, but that's basically all I know, other than you are a moth, and I like moths. Therefore, I kind of want to hug you, and maybe also pet you. Can I touch your antenna and pet them? So we got a new name here. Let me go ahead and make note of this name. Maury the Pink Moth. The fact you're pink makes it even better. Wait a minute. I know this place. You're Maury. Well, you must know me by reputation. I got a thing for faces, and yours, let's just say I'd remember it quite well. I bought this necklace here. That necklace? Let me see. I remember that one. But I didn't sell it to you. Nah, I sold it to a skinny bitty kitty. Named Mila? It's me! I just changed a little, that's all. Changed into a different species? More of that mysterious forces? Morgana, please, don't try to sell my customers on your crazy conspiracy theories. Hey! This time, they were the ones to try to sell the crazy to me. That didn't quite come out right. No, I had trouble reading sometimes. What she says is true. There have been mysterious forces at work. Mysterious forces. Yeah. You lot are lucky you're easy on the eyes, or I'd ask you to beat it. These mysterious forces are real. We can use them to find Mrs. Danforth. You've been looking for her for months, Morgana. Don't you think it's time to just... The great detective Morgana never gives up. Was there anything unusual recently? Well, a couple days ago, someone did come by looking for all Mrs. Danforth's things. A giant snake woman. Oh, this gets better and better. She was mighty interested in that necklace. Wait, are you saying that the necklace you sold me, that used to belong to the missing woman? Sure did. Quite a lot of her things were pawned here, right around the time she went missing. I lost track. I thought we were looking for a missing husband. So the snake kidnapped her. Then she decided to make decided to make some quick cash by dumping her stuff before heading out of town. Some people might hate typos. I think they're fun to read. Even if I'm not very good at reading them sometimes. Unlikely. Why would kidnappers risk implicating themselves? That's just a word I don't know. And you know what that means. Implicating? I assume that is how it's pronounced.
Implicate.
Yep, okay. I do know implications. Maybe it's based off of that. If they wanted to sell her items, why not do so in a different town where they wouldn't be recognized? I was getting to that. Just let me finish, okay? She must have realized later that the evidence would implicate her, so she came back for the items. Nah, it was her first visit. Perhaps her husband was the one who sold her items, knowing his wife wasn't going to come back. Okay, my fault for losing track of who the shark person was that we met at the dock. I thought that was Prina. What if it was Prina's husband, and Prina went missing when she went time traveling to change the past? I mean, it's probably not a good idea to make sense of things whenever you haven't been paying close enough to all the details. But it would make sense. I've never seen Mr. Danforth in the shop before either. Remember, I got a thing for faces. Yeah, you did such a good job recognizing mine. Ha! I guess you can't be right all the time, Darius. I knew it wasn't the husband. Hey, if he was so sure she wasn't coming back, why would he hire me to find her? Maddie says, or maybe Prina got turned into a huge snake lady without her husband knowing. That's also possible. Asked and answered, Morgana. If you know she's gone, why not pick the worst detective in the world to investigate? Hey, I'm on the verge of cracking this case. I've got a couple of theories on how this shook out. Now, I have a theory or two of my own. Perhaps it is time we paid Mr. Danforth a visit. Okay. So who was the shark at the dock again? It's kind of annoying whenever you don't pay attention to who's who and what's going on. Maddie says maybe that was Brina and she is not actually connected to all this. That's true, I might have just been making assumptions. Well, let's scrap everything we know and just go with the flow and see what happens then. And let me also make note of this. Danforth, whose wife is missing. If I could just spell wife. Oh, Morgana, good to see you. Who are your friends? Yes, Maddie, he does appear to be a rat. I'm Captain Darius, and this is Mila. They are here to witness me solve the case. Solve the case? Oh. Well, that's not a suspicious reaction. Solve the case! Oh, splendid! So, where is my, lovely wife? Dead, I'm afraid. Hungry, impoverished snake woman snuck into your wife's house and swallowed her whole. But she wasn't just hungry for her body, she also jealous of her comfortable life. She took all of jewelry and finery. But then her ship was attacked, and all her valuables were stolen, then sold to Murray the merchant. Miraculously, the snake woman survived the wreck, and came back to the shop recently in search of her lost booty. Oh, how terrible. But I'm glad that, I'm glad that at long last the mystery has been... Not so fast. I have a different theory to offer you. I don't see why, given that... Mila, inform Mr. Danforth about the necklace. It has the power to transform people. You don't say. I believe that it transformed your wife into a giant snake. That horrified you, didn't it? Maybe you kicked her out, maybe you kept her prisoner here. Either way, you didn't see much hope for her. You sold all her things by proxy. Then you hired Morgana just so you could keep up appearances as the grieving husband. Either your wife returned or escaped. First, she visited the shop, trying to reclaim her things. Then she fled in a ship. But your wife was alone, and as an aristocrat's wife, she could hardly be expected to be an experienced sailor. She accidentally ran aground, and her ship was destroyed. An interesting little theory, but one with a lot of unfounded assumptions. A magic coin that can transform people? I happen to trust Morgana's version of events. After all, she's the professional, isn't she? Thanks. See, Darius? If either of you had seen the effect of the coins with your own eyes... I hardly see why this matters. Either way, my wife is dead. Why not just, let it go? What if she really isn't dead? You mean, she's undead? Could she be haunting this house right now? No, I meant, what if she survived the wreck? There's only one way to find out, isn't there? Morgana, I would be pleased to have you join us. Join you... where? On my ship, the Pirate's Fate. We're going to go on a little journey. Okay, well, this is certainly getting interesting. I'm betting Danforth is at least partly at fault with what is going on. Brings up the question, who is that snake woman? And is she even relevant to the plot? Maybe she was just somebody coming along to look for new jewelry? Then again, though, she knew about the necklace without it being there, so gotta have some sort of involvement. Maddie says, call me biased, but if I were that rat and I suddenly had a big snake who still loved me so, I'd be glad. Okay, you're biased. And we're going on an episode break. We will be right back. And when we come back, I imagine that we'll be heading towards the shipwreck and find something.